Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Frantic Nerdcast.
Episode 50. Somehow we made it. Somehow they've let us still on the air. It might be because we can just do it.
We give them money to be on the air. That's why they let us be on the air.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably the reason.
We made it. 50 episodes.
50 episodes knocked out in just over a year.
Oh, so you guys have made 50. I've been dragged along for what, maybe 15 now. So
it's been thereabouts.
It's been a fun 15, but yeah, great.
A year in November.
Yeah, November. So November we kicked it off last year. We were sort of toiling with different formats where we did one every couple of weeks, one a week. We had a break over Christmas and whatnot. Then we were pumping out 2 a week, and now we're back to one-ish a week. And
yep.
We've managed to make the big 50.
That's it. 50
Congratulations,
episodes.
boys.
That's a lot, but we got there. It's exciting.
It's been fun. It's been a journey. It's been wild. It's been awesome fun talking about all the random shit. I love going down my rabbit holes, as I've mentioned in the past.
It's been thoroughly enjoyable watching the analytics of where everyone's coming from.
Yeah.
So at the moment on the podcast, our biggest listeners are from Singapore.
It's been like that for a few weeks now, hasn't it?
Singapore have been smashing us on the podcast. So what's
Thank
up,
you.
Singapore?
Yeah.
Thank you very much for listening. We really appreciate it. And make sure you share with all your friends.
Yeah, share it around.
As for YouTube, our biggest watchers, should I say, are United States.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
So that's our biggest viewers. So
and also to you in the States, hello, and please share the shit out of that. Let everybody know.
Might I say, for those of you watching, 81% of you are not subscribed.
Oh, please subscribe. It helps us out.
Subscribed that watch.
And it takes all of 2 seconds to click the button.
It does. We promise that we won't spam you too much. But look, 50 episodes. I think several episodes ago, myself and AJ, we did a bit of a what we've enjoyed so far. We've just touched on a few of those things there. But I mean, Zach, you were once a listener, now joining the crew, as you said, for about 15 or so episodes. So, yep. I mean, we did a bit of what we enjoyed about doing the show. For yourself, I'd like to know what you enjoyed about listening to the show before you joined us, and then what you enjoyed since you've been on the show.
So, as a listener, there was a few things. So, first of all, it was just, I got into it obviously just to support you boys, support some mates doing something that they loved, and it was really handy that it was of interest to me as well. With
and then you realised that it's a really good podcast.
Yeah, it was.
The best getting around. I mean, look, we're killing it in Singapore, the States.
But that's it. And then, so hearing your guys' nerdy insights on things that I didn't have a lot of knowledge or no knowledge at all, like comic books, for instance, or a variety of movies that I should have watched and just have not for whatever reason. So it was good. And then it was, as you stole my final point there, it was a fun podcast to listen to, really. It was good to throw on a Friday or a Saturday when it was released and do whatever I was doing while I listened. So it was good.
Yeah, we went through a period there of not knowing when to release the podcast, so we just released it whenever. And then we're like, we'll release it on this day, and then I realized, oh no, we recorded it the night before. It's a lot of effort. So yeah. But now we've got a fairly stable release date for the podcast.
Unless we miss a week. And apologies, everybody, for missing that week. We just had a little bit going on for last week to get one out.
Real life gets in the way at times.
I got a few messages through the week. Thank you, Mr. Bevan Hall. But where's the episode and whatnot? But look, we try our best to get one out a week. But look, sometimes it gets a little bit busy, and here we are now.
That's right.
Yeah, Zach, there's your first one. So what about what are you enjoying since you've been on the show?
So it's been great to continue to expand my nerdy world, because obviously we talk about different things and need to do a bit of research so I can actually have some sort of input into it. Comic books the other week, for instance, it was great to be involved in that and be able to ask questions on the spot, because that was one thing as a listener. You guys would be talking something and I'd love to be able to jump in and ask a question and clarify a specific point. Obviously couldn't because it's not live.
I was going to say to that, like, we've spoken about doing a live show before. We sort of wanted to get a bit more of a listener group together before we did something like that. I mean, we might do one in the new year sometime in a few months if we can get a few viewers. If there's a bit of interest there, we'll do one. And as you said, Zach, you'll be able to reach out and do a few queries if you do it. But I mean, if it's only going to be one person, 4 people. So 4's a target. If we get 4 people confirmed to listen live, then we will. There you go. You've heard it from AJ.
But in terms of just joining, expanding my nerdy world, watching new shows and movies, and having that sort of analytical eyes, because obviously needing to pull up things to discuss is actually been quite enjoyable, because I'm finding more things in movies now and appreciating those small little like Easter eggs sort of thing. And then sharing my views has been pretty cool, but mainly it's just great to sort of chat nerdy stuff. Like half the time I forget the microphones and the cameras are there. Like when we did the favorite kids show, like the nostalgia episode there, it was like I could have kept going for another 45 minutes. I forgot that cameras and microphones were the thing. It was just great to sort of...
I mean, that's what it was like when we first started. It was literally because we just enjoyed sitting around talking about this shit. And...
we said, fuck it, let's record it.
And so, we just decided to record it. And the first episode was exactly that, just sitting around talking shit. Then we thought, we better get some structure to this.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where I say to everybody who I speak about this, I mentioned it on the show before, it was strangely a lot of fun once you're done. Like, it's the same shit you're talking anyways. The only difference is that you're recording it.
Yeah.
And it's fun. So, yeah.
But yeah, so I know you guys have done it, but going to throw it back onto you anyway. What's one thing you've either learnt or enjoyed about doing the podcast so far?
I think I've mentioned this in the past, but I like finding, when I go down my rabbit holes, I like finding how particular people are so ingrained through different, like different movies, different voice acting, different like things in that realm. Like you'll find one person, like, oh yeah, I know this person from that movie, and then that's sort of all you really know about them. And then you go and you read what they've done, and over the course of 10, 15 years, they've been in like fucking everything pop culture. I think I quite enjoyed finding those little tidbits and whatnot. Just the going into like a little bit of a deeper dive, looking under the surface, which I never really used to do before. I think that's probably one of the fun things, and then talking about it, bringing it to the table. That's probably my favorite thing. I
just really enjoy talking shit.
We know that.
Just anything nerdy, just continually talking, and that's what I thoroughly enjoy doing.
To be fair, you could probably be here with one microphone and just keep going, couldn't you?
Oh, 100%. I could do myself with these.
This has really just enabled his bad habits. So.
Oh, 100%. Here's a bit of a left field one for you. During the week, there was a new anime that came onto Netflix, which is fucking great. It is so fucking good. That caught me off guard.
I smashed through that. It was such a good show.
Wait.
What? Gentry Chow versus the Underworld.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen the trailer. It's on my
so good. It's not an anime.
Technically not,
because it's Korean.
Yeah.
It's actually, I think it's American because it's done by Ali Wong.
Yeah.
A comedian, I'm pretty sure.
I'm not sure.
And it's phenomenal. It's very much ingrained in like that Korean mythology of the underworld and the demons and all that kind of stuff. And essentially it's about this young girl who's got powers, like fire powers. And when she was young, she burnt down half her town and then moved to Korea to sort of get away from it all. And essentially she finds out that when she turns 16, this demon is coming for her soul.
Yeah.
And so she moves back to America with her grandma, and then shenanigans ensue. And it's a really good show.
It's really well written. It's left field. It's fun. It's very, very fun.
It's got a really, really pimp intro too. It's like K-pop style, like.
Yeah,
when shows have good intros, I think that just instantly makes the show better instantly.
Like the animation style remind me of the Scott Pilgrim.
It's very Scott Pilgrim style animation.
I was going to say, so I have, under Brock's advice, watched Sword Guy. Finished it this morning. Mm-hmm. Slow starting seasons.
Yes.
Season 1 I thought was really, really good and was expecting something to ramp up. Season 2 it would left me wanting more. Yeah, that's my only sort of criticism. It's good, but as I said, for wrapping up there like it did, there was just like certain questions I just didn't know who characters were still and that sort of thing.
And I think Netflix, they didn't renew it either. Because they didn't renew it, you'll never find it.
Because I did a bit of research. I think that's all it was intended to be was
really?
to there. So possibly it was rushed because it wasn't renewed for a third season. Yep. Possibly that's why some things were left some of that. But yeah, it just slow starts that sort of just ruined the end. Like it felt like they rushed the last 4 episodes of each season, which could have been stretched out if they had to sort of cut down some of what felt like filler in the first few.
And if you're missing the link there, several episodes ago we spoke about animes, like ones the sort of intro to animes to go and watch. I spoke about this one, Sword Guy. It's on Netflix. Go give it a watch. It's good fun.
Yeah, I think it has potential to be a good. It had really good potential to be a good gateway, especially after the first season. As someone that's watched a fair few animes, the second season just left me wanting that a little bit more. But yeah, still enjoyable to watch.
Yeah,
fantastic anime, and if we're on the note of it, that you should watch. And it prerequisite for it is it's not finished, and it will never be finished, unfortunately, because the creator of the manga passed away, and that's High School of the Dead. It's fan service, so like big boobies, like the boob physics in it are amazing. So at one point in one of the scenes, a chick fires a sniper rifle, and the bullet goes into bullet time, and it follows the bullet. And another one of the girls does like a backwards matrixy thing, but sideways, and her boobs go alternate. So one goes up, the other one's going down, and the bullet goes slow-mo through her boobs as they like swap sides. But other than that, the anime is really good. Like the zombie outbreak is amazing, and all that kind of stuff. The story's really good, but unfortunately, it kind of just ended because, like most mangas, it's like anime is like season 1 is this arc of the manga, season 2 is this arc. But unfortunately, the creator passed away and they didn't continue the manga, so they're not continuing the anime. But yeah, it was a really good anime.
Another thing I did this week is, so our next Sequelizer episode, if you're following along, we're going to do The Mask. I had a look at The Mask comics.
Oh yeah, I've read them ages ago. They're phenomenal.
Cool. They're very different tone.
Completely different. But if you read through the characters in the movie are kind of an amalgamation of a couple of different characters in the comic.
Yeah, because the characters from the movie are in the comic.
Yes. So Stanley in the comics, Stanley dies.
Yes.
In the first arc.
The end of the first arc.
Yeah, and then essentially the girlfriend at the time, she becomes the mask for a little bit. Then this copper becomes the mask. A lot of the stuff that Copper does is what Stanley does in the movie.
Yes. Right.
Kind of thing. So there's a crossover, but they kind of meshed it and then made it more kid friendly.
Yeah, and those characters there, like the girlfriend, she's an ex-girlfriend from the movie, and the copper, he's the main copper who's chasing Stanley like through the thing. So there's all those links, same characters, but as you said, it's like an amalgamation.
And he's also not called the Mask in the comics. He's called Big Head.
Fair enough. I can see that.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. There wasn't a cartoon.
There was a cartoon, yes, but it was based on the movie Mask, not the comic book Mask.
Yeah, either way, I want to dig that up and give that a watch, because from memory,
I used to watch it all the time.
It was very good
on Saturdays mornings.
And the more recent comics, so because these comics were like in the late 80s, early 90s, and then the movie came out in like 94, 95, something like that. And then they actually, because of the success of the movie, they did more comics.
But they toned down the comics.
Yes, they made it more like the movie to sort of.
They toned it down a bit. He's still called Big Head, but yeah, it's toned down a little bit, and they kind of made it a bit more sort of funny, like loco kind of thing, like the movie, as opposed to in the comics, he's not quite as mental, even though he still is.
Anyways, I recommend those comics. They're pretty sweet.
I was going to say, so the only other thing I've really done recently since we've been on was on Monday, I participated in the Longest Day charity event, which was, for those that don't know, it's playing 72 holes of golf in a single day. So
now, please tell the world, did you or did you not have a cart?
I did not walk the whole 72 holes. I did walk several. Dave walked.
Still a big fucking day.
Yeah. So we teed off at 5:15 was our first shot, and our last shot was about 7 o'clock. So
that's a fucking big day.
Almost 13 and a half hours roughly of golf. So a lot of fun was had. I personally raised 627, I think.
Nice.
Our team raised about 1350. So
very good.
Definitely a new target to try and beat next year when we go for our third time.
Of course. We might have to have a Frantic Nerdcast team next year.
It's such a long fucking day.
Yeah, it's all right. We'll podcast through the whole thing.
There's your live episode. And one other quick thing on the mask, when I was trying to find the mask just online, I stumbled across another comic, which the cover art, I'm just like, I need to fucking read that. It's called Bunny Mask.
Oh, yes. That's the movie that I was talking about the other day. When I talked about them making a movie of it. It's a French-American thing.
He did. I remember him talking
about it. It's like a black leather with like,
Yeah?
I was talking, they're making a movie of it.
I don't remember what he said, but I remember him talking about it.
Yeah, so I seen that and I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I need to read those too. So I've got the I could only get four issues of it. I don't know if that's all that there is. I think it was by I can't remember what comic it was, but anyway, it's fun. It is fucking quirky and weird as shit, but it is pretty sweet.
And I'm
a bit dark and whatnot, but it's good.
What makes things good? I'm going to put a watch this space. We will be talking about Secret Level next week.
Yes.
Brock has not quite watched all 8 in the single day or two it's been out.
No.
So, but we'll be definitely watching them this week and talking about it next week.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, next episode, yeah. So they're good. They're good. That's all you need to know.
Yeah. If you haven't watched it, definitely watch it. Ready to not have them spoiled for you next week.
But in any case, I mean, we've done our typical waffle at the start of an episode, which, I mean, that's what you come here for. So let's get into one of our first ones. And I suppose do you want to kick it off with, actually, AJ, play an intro and then that'll be what we'll start with.
Anyone got comic news? Because that's the button I pressed.
I meant of the ones we were going to fucking talk about.
I randomly pressed the button, so we're talking about comics now.
So
I
comics,
actually have something.
I read Mask during the week, and it's an awesome comic. Right?
I've started Old Man Logan. I had plenty of spare time, so
very good. How far did you get in?
Not far. I've started.
So you've read the cover?
Yeah.
Read the liner notes.
Read the first few pages. So definitely looking forward to finishing it now. I've started it. So
such a good comic. All right, let's try that again and actually do something with it.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. TV shows. Now, as normal, let's just get into rumors anyway. It doesn't really matter what their rumors are, but we'll go through some
TV shows to talk about.
Rumors.
No, we didn't, but let's do it anyways.
What are some people got here?
Called Frantic Nerdcast for a reason.
Okay, so apparently there are some new characters joining the MCU. We've got Kahori joining, so everyone would know her.
I've seen a little bit about this. Because she was from What If, and she got introduced in What If.
Yes.
And when we seen that, I said I would fucking love to see her in it because I reckon she'll be like super OP.
And some of the fan casting, I'm guessing this is fan casting because they probably wouldn't have cast it yet.
No
so Kiori is Davry Jacobs, and she'll appear in Avengers Doomsday. Then we've got Lilith, who will appear in The Midnight Suns, which will be played by Mia Goth, is the fan one. So for those of you who don't know, Mia Goth is a fantastic actor who was in the X horror series, which was in X, Pearl, and Maxine.
Yep.
Fantastic movies. She co-wrote a lot of them, I believe. And I think she directed maybe Maxine. I'm not 100% sure. But she's a really good actor, so she'll be good. Molecule Man, who will be appearing in Fantastic Four, apparently, with Robert Pattinson. And Diamondback, who will be playing by Rosa Shalaza, and she'll be appearing in Captain America, which I believe has already been confirmed. I'm not 100% sure on that one.
Look, I'll just jump in with this random one because I actually didn't have too many this week, but Thor 5 will feature the Eternals.
They're going to have to get them back in somehow.
Yeah. That's if they
never
want
get their own movie.
I had another one for Thor 5. It will focus on Thor attempting to prevent a war between New Asgard and Omnipotent City. Jane Foster and Heimdall will return.
Yep.
New gods will be introduced as well.
Yeah. I've seen another thing which is sort of like Hercules as the main villain, which is what got teased at the end of level 4 as well.
Yeah. My one is Jim Carrey talks about what motivated him to return for Dr. Robotnik in Sonic 3. I bought a lot of stuff and needed the money, frankly, was his quote. So, all for it, if that's the reason why.
Oh, God.
All right. I've got a TV series based on the DC character The Question is in the works at DC Studios, according to Hollywood Insider. Nice. So The Question is a dude, for those of you who don't know, he's got no face. He's like he's kind of like Rorschach from The Watchmen, just without the Rorschach shit all over his face. Essentially, they're pretty close to being the same character.
Reports out of Warner Bros. Indicated that at one point, Clooney, Bale, and Affleck were contacted to do a multiverse movie that would have looked a lot like Spider-Man No Way Home.
I did see that, yeah. I did say that. It'd be cool.
It would be cool as long as Clooney's just a cameo.
or somehow get shit on or something.
No, I'd like to see Clooney. I'd like to see him get a redemption, man.
Yeah,
He's a great actor and he could do a good grizzled one.
Exactly. And I mean, we've spoken about that film a couple times, and you're right. The writing was just so poor. And he is a great actor, so he could definitely do it. He just wasn't given the opportunity.
Yeah, and unfortunately, probably couldn't get Val Kilmer to
Val Kilmer can't talk.
Yeah, exactly what I'm saying. You couldn't do it.
I highly doubt he would have done it.
So there are several casting rumours or things going for the Harry Potter series.
Oh, yeah.
So
I've seen a whole bunch of these.
Dumbledore to be played as by Mark Strong.
Yep.
Severus Snape, Pardu Asidu.
Mm-hmm.
Voldemort by Cillian Murphy.
Mm-hmm.
Minerva McGonagall by Sharon Horgan. Hagrid is Brett Goldstein. And that's all we've got so far.
I'm pretty sure I've seen Will Smith's name getting thrown in there. For
I haven't seen that one.
No, fuck Will Smith. That's my turn, mate.
I was just giving you a running arm.
We've gone reverse.
Steven Spielberg confirms that Ready Player 2 is already in development, getting ready to dive back into the Oasis for more thrilling adventures. So this is actually based on a book. There is a Ready Player 2 book that's out, and and it's got like a little poster, whether it's fan generated or not, but it's got the DeLorean with a Ghostbusters symbol on it.
Nice. Because I know that I haven't read the book. I've heard that the book was incredible. The movie did it a lot of justice, but still go and read the book.
Yeah.
At passport control, the immigration officer said to Robert Pattinson, "Why did you stop acting after Twilight?" I was like, "I'm Batman."
I did see that one, yeah. I saw that one.
This is a show that is happening, but coming to Netflix, can 12 celebrities survive being hunted in the Costa Rican jungle by Bear Grylls? It's called Celebrity Bear Hunt on Netflix.
I did see the promo thing for that one. Looks pretty cool. We've got a new Gundam coming. We had a little story about Gundam the other day. So this one is called GQUUUX. A lot of views in it. And it's essentially Amate Yuzara is a high school student living peaceful in a space colony floating in outer space when she meets a war refugee named Nyan. Amate is drawn into a legal mobile suit dueling sport known as clan battles. Under the name Maku, she throws herself into a fierce battle day after day piloting GQUUUX, and then an unidentified Gundam mobile suit pursued by both the Space Force and the police appears before her, along with its pilot, a boy named Shuji. Now their world is about to enter a new era. It will begin in January 17 in Japan under the title Mobile Suit Gundam GQUUX Beginning. And there's been a lot of memes about this online in the Gundam forums and stuff. But also the design of the Gundam, because it's actually designed by the guy who designed the Avas in Neon Genesis, and it is very Ava-esque in its design, and it's not very Gundam looking at all.
Yeah, okay.
So there's been a lot of memes about that.
Dudes from Sword Guy, really.
Sword's got an upgrade. Chris Evans to return to the MCU for Avengers Doomsday. Not as Captain America, but as Captain Hydra.
I saw this, and it doesn't surprise me. I reckon he probably will.
Yeah, and I think it'd be great. I think it's an awesome arc. I've only read a little bit of it, but I think it'd be awesome.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting to see, but I think they're starting to fall down the trap of they're just getting all the old actors back in new roles.
But I mean, it's hard not to when those characters are so prolifically known as those characters, and those characters are so dominant in the storylines.
It's hard because there needs to be a passing of the torch, and they haven't worked out how to do it yet.
That's what I was more getting at. Like
they're trying with Falcon to make him, and we'll see how that movie goes. Apparently, they're doing a whole heap of reshoots for it.
Yes,
and then the Iron Man passing of the torch is never going to happen to Riri, unfortunately, because it just didn't work in the comics, and it's not going to work in this, and
everyone's too excited for the chap to come through as Iron Lad. There was just so much hype around that, especially at the end of Endgame, and like seeing him back there for the funeral and whatnot. Yeah,
I honestly have a feeling that at the end of this arc, they're going to reboot.
Yeah.
They'll do a universal reboot like they do in the comics, and we'll get all new actors.
It'd be interesting to see what they do, considering old mate that plays Kane has had a lot of his things dropped. If they were to,
he won't come back
to bring back, I think they would.
I think they've killed that.
Yeah, that's gone. But the biggest thing is Secret Wars, essentially Secret Wars in the comics
Was the reset.
was a reset. They got the characters, they all fought on a planet, and then the characters that kind of survived, they're like, okay, well, we'll survive this character, but he's from this universe, so we can use this backstory, and this character's from this universe.
See, I think that you'll lose a lot of the popular.
No, but that's how they'll reset it. That's how they'll reset it, so they can have new actors playing the same roles.
Like the comic people will stick with it, but I think
The MCU is too big to lose.
it won't lose. It won't lose, but I think it'll lose.
I get what you're saying, but
But the thing is, you got to remember, MCU's 15 years old now. So
fucking
at the
older,
moment,
wouldn't it?
it's our generation that are keeping the MCU going and are excited for it. The younger generation don't really give a fuck. It's just cool movies that they get to see. So they need to reboot it, as much as I hate to say it, for the next generation.
Yeah, which makes sense.
We've seen it all, and we just want the same shit over and over again. Whereas they're like getting the scraps of them trying to appease us, kind of thing.
I do agree to the point too. Like they are starting to go down the list of superheroes to bring in as main characters, which are not hitting because they are not the main ones. So.
Yeah.
I forgot to bring up that Terry Crews is being considered to play Sirius Black in the Harry Potter series. I think that'd be hilarious if that was to be true.
Well, I've got one that connects to one I said. So, Kahori.
That's the one that I seen.
Yeah, they want the chick, Amber Midthunder, to play her. She's the one who played the main character in Predator Prey.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, it's just called Prey, but we're just calling it Predator Prey because that's what it was.
Yeah, exactly. And I suppose I'll finish with this last one because this one I've seen, and it's a big month for December on what to watch. We've got Skeleton Crew, we've got New Bluey, we've got Dream Productions, we've got Craven, we've got Lord of the Rings, War of Rohirrim, we got Mufasa,
Sonic.
We got. Do you want to finish the list?
Yep. Go.
Yeah? Okay.
I was excited.
Yeah. So we got
50.
Marvel's What If season 3. We got Doctor Who, Joy to the World. We've got Squid Game. We've got Sonic the Hedgehog number 3.
Excellent.
We've also got Secret Level, which has come through as we mentioned earlier. Just a bunch of awesome stuff.
Don't skip me.
Oh, sorry.
He was going to mute you.
There's a new anime movie coming out, Batman Ninja vs. Yakuza League, set to release on March 21, 2025.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy the first Ninja one personally, so I'm not really.
It was
looking
okay. What animation style are they going? Like
same as the Ninja one. Yeah.
Okay.
Bill Lawrence is officially developing the Scrubs revival. So Bill Lawrence is the original creator. He's also the guy who did Cougar Town. He did Ted Lasso.
And I think he wants to bring everyone back
He
as a
does want to bring
continuation
everyone
too.
out. Yep. So I'm very excited about it because Scrubs is one of my favorite TV shows ever. Invincible season 3, February 26th.
Marvelous.
I need to
Cannot
watch
wait.
that.
You need to read the comic is what you need to do. The comic is the cartoon is great. The comic is fucking phenomenal.
So I've got 2 to end on then. After I plan on reading the comic. So after typing up my notes for the Mask sequel, I got a Mask 3 Return of Loki movie plot on Facebook. I'm like, interesting.
Well. Yeah.
But then Henry Cavill has come out and released on the back of the Secret Level episode that his Warhammer franchise with Prime is going ahead. They've locked in a story. They haven't released what the story is going to be, but they have locked it in and everything is going. So watch this space with more to come.
Yeah, I think they kind of needed to do something and release something because there's been so much, like pretty much from the day after he got signed on, it was just like, oh, already there's writing issues, there's clashes, it's all falling apart.
Well,
and that happened from like day 2.
The budget was spent when he had to buy everyone an army. So yeah. No, I'm kidding.
So it's official. Jared Padalecki will return. Will reunite with Jason Ackles in The Boys' final season.
Marvelous.
Season 5. I think he's playing the Thor knockoff character essentially. Okay. What do we got? Miles Teller and Anna Taylor-Joy to star in The Gorge. Which, if you haven't watched the trailer yet, watch the fucking trailer. It looks amazing. What do we got? Jeremy Allen White, who everyone will know from The Bear, and
I fucking forgot about this.
He's been cast as Rotto the Hutt in the Mandalorian and Grogu film. What do we got?
While he's finding that, have you seen there's a guy that's released a video saying that Star Wars has released the movies with the wrong titles? So he used the
yeah.
same titles, but changed
them all around.
Sort of thing like The Force Awakens, I think he should actually be episode 1, and things like Return of the Jedi should be like episode 9 or something. So and it actually made a lot of sense when he described it. Yeah.
We got almost 2 years after his snowplow accident. Marvel actor.
I didn't know about that snowplow accident.
Oh yeah, he got really fucked up. Broke 38 bones.
Yeah, it was fucked.
I didn't know about it, because I read this same thing.
Yeah,
you're
he
reading
said
now.
Jeremy Renner doesn't believe snowplow accident limits him. I'm 25% titanium. Fuck Iron Man. Is his statement. Which is just glorious. Beyblades. So Beyblade X Tops have been announced, and they're releasing them in 3 sets. Each set comes with 2 Beyblades. We got a Transformers set with Optimus Prime versus Megatron, a Star Wars set with Luke versus Darth, and a Marvel set with Spider-Man versus Venom.
So, did you also see that Timothy Chalamet went to his Bob Dylan opening with the
There is on Beyblades. There's a bit of infighting in the Beyblade community over in America. Someone's just opened a shop and. Put out some press and everyone's like shitting on him and he's shitting back and stuff.
So this is
It was fun to watch nerds fight.
This is my biggest piece of news that I've received this week. And you're going to love this. You're going to love this. In a bold move, Riot Games is producing its own competitor to Magic's biggest social format, Commander. So it is releasing a multiplayer TCG called Project K. And they're aiming to compete with Marvel's Commander, which is Marvel's multiplayer format. And essentially, you will play as a character from Leagues of Legend, and you'll build a deck around that character in verse. It'll be focused mainly on multiplayer, so 2v2, like all in war.
Sure.
But there'll also be 1v1 formats, and they're looking to come out next year.
Wow.
So I knew about this. I thought everyone knew about this.
No, this is the first I've heard of it this week.
I think it's been, the idea has been out for a while. They probably just come out this week with a more concrete sort of thing.
Yeah, well, they did a teaser of it.
But yeah, obviously, because they've had
the Runestone or whatever.
Legends of Runeterra, which is like their online sort of.
So it's got nothing to do with that.
No, I could imagine it wouldn't, because that's sort of more role play, sort of like campaign based. You can play each other, but it's more. Yes, story based things there. So
sure,
but yeah, it makes sense. Like obviously, there is a deep lore, deep characters, and things like that.
I don't give a fuck about lore. I just want to play a fucking cool card game. But the worst thing I already know is going to happen with this game is going to get meta as fuck, because all of the League of Legends nerds are going to come out and start playing it, and it's just going to be meta decks versus meta decks versus meta decks, which will destroy the game essentially super quick.
But that's most card games, really.
Not really. No, Magic is very meta. A lot of your Japanese ones get very meta.
Yeah, but any card game that takes off will eventually. It's the same thing as any tabletop system. As soon as you add competitiveness into it and it becomes popular, the metas appear and everyone knows what to do.
The Japanese ones are probably the easiest to get around because the sets are released in Japan beforehand. They figure out all the meta, and then when it comes to America and Australia, all that meta's already come out. So you just go online and go, okay, I just need those cards.
Yeah.
But then everyone just plays the same fucking decks and it gets boring. That's why I don't play competitive anything. So last two. Sony's picture is not currently working on any more Spider-Man spin-offs. They've given up. They're just focusing on Spider-Man 4 and Spider-Man Noir.
But then there's also one that came out and said that if Kraven was a success, the director would like to do the second.
Yeah, this came out after Kraven wasn't a success.
And then lastly, we've got what's her name? Chiotel Gomez or whoever plays America Chavez in that. She's released a photo of her with Catherine Newton, who plays Cassie Lang, and Dominic Thorne, who plays Riri Williams, all together in the same room in their Marvel costumes.
Ooh, nice.
E.g. So
Young Avengers.
Champions.
So yeah, there you go.
Or Legends, whatever they're renaming it to, because it's not young.
Yeah.
Just call it Young Avengers. Don't fucking
insert name here.
All right, what do we got?
Well, we weren't talking about TV shows.
Okay.
So movies.
We're talking about movies. There you go. Fucking go for it.
One of the plans was we're getting into that time of the year. It's getting to Christmas, so
if you're on YouTube, you can just look at
you
me
can
and
see his very joyful shirt for Christmas, which is outside of. You must be very uncomfortable not wearing a Liverpool shirt.
This is the only time of year where it's accepted. I am starting to run low on unique ones, so I'll start to rewear them. But
Fair enough.
We'll have 3 more in the new year, so it's fine.
Yeah, we're going to talk about our top 3 Christmas movies, basically. Now, I will put out a caveat here. This is not your top 3 Christmas movie. This is the top 3 movies that you watch at Christmas time. It's the routine of yourself watching a movie around that Christmas period. So
top 3 Christmas movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who wants to start?
I'll kick it off. And I'll kick it off with a movie that came out in 1988. And it rifles through the community around this time all the time as to whether it is or isn't a Christmas movie. And I was
bringing up this debate at the end
is yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. I love this movie. I love that it gets this debate every single year, whether it is or isn't a Christmas movie, and just the pure fact that debate starts, it just makes people watch the movie again at Christmas time. It gets a rise in the numbers every single fucking year at Christmas as to who watches and where it watched all around the world. It's a fucking Christmas movie and it's great.
So,
Die Hard for those who don't know at home.
I've gone backwards and forwards on this. Until recently, I watched another movie and I was like, actually, if I say Die Hard's not a Christmas movie, then this movie can't be a Christmas movie. So, because theoretically, Die Hard is classified as a Christmas movie because
It takes place at Christmas.
Yeah. So therefore, Batman Returns is a Christmas movie.
100%.
And then the one that I had on my list, which technically I've got the sequel, but the Home Alone is really just another
Home
movie.
Alone is a Christmas movie, 100% a Christmas movie.
Is it? I've shattered my own dreams here with this conversation. Is it?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it takes place at Christmas.
That's my point. That's to say, that's literally the only reason. I'm more than happy to accept Die Hard now into the family of Christmas movies because I can't not have Home Alone as a Christmas movie.
The one thing you have to ask is what makes a Christmas movie a Christmas movie?
And as I said at the start, for me, it's a Christmas movie is just a movie that, even if it's just you alone, you for whatever reason, Christmas time, settling down, the holidays, you sit down and you watch it either by yourself, with your family, with friends, whatever. And that's your Christmas movie. So for me, it really is that simple. I don't care if it's fucking whatever. That's a Christmas movie for me. Now, if you want to get into what is a Christmas theme movie, then it's anything with Christmas in it, or at least is centered around Christmas. Because Die Hard is like the timeline is Christmas Day. They've referenced Christmas several times throughout. So Christmas movie. Home Alone, same thing. It's all around Christmas time. You got, one of the big scenes towards the end, they meet at the Christmas tree, the big Christmas tree in New York or whatever it is.
The counter to that is obviously like Home Alone could be set at any time throughout the year. It could have been.
Yeah, but it
Easter.
wasn't.
I know.
Every Christmas movie could be set at every time.
But I said, but for Home Alone, you then have obviously that message of like he's going through it. It's all about family and that sort of time of year. Like even though you might hate your family at one time, Christmas is the time for family and being around them always makes that time of year better. So
pretty much all your movies like these days, even if it's your Christmas movies these days, the only thing that's making them a Christmas movie is they are happening at Christmas time. That's it.
I think people are like, it doesn't have Santa in it. It's not a Christmas movie. Well, if
that's a fucking Santa movie.
90% of the romantic comedies you see on fucking Amazon, Netflix, and Disney now.
Exactly.
Fucking Hallmark are releasing 38 Christmas movies this year.
I think I've watched 2 or 3 of them already,
and
they're rubbish.
They're fucking some bad ones,
so
man.
I'll throw mine out. Mine is Home Alone 2.
Yep.
Always as a childhood, I always remember that one being better than Home Alone 1.
Yeah, I agree.
Played on the same sort of tropes, but I think they just sort of tweaked things and got them better in Home Alone 2. So.
Did you see that they are doing apparently a Home Alone 3 and it's Macaulay Culkin grown up?
It's him
because the other
him and his brother against the Wet Bandits.
The Wet Bandits are out of prison now and they want revenge, so they're going after him.
I'll watch the shit out of that.
I think that's great as long as they target it with the audience who've grown up with it and make it like MA or R or something. Just make it fucking
like that YouTube social thing that came out a while ago. Yeah,
because there's because obviously Home Alone has 3 and 4, which were
I think it's 5.
bombs. There might be more. I know Home Alone 4. The only reason why I remember that one is because it had like a very very young ScarJo in it.
Okay,
but that's it. That's the only reason I remember that one. But 1 and 2 are really the only 2 that matter.
I think the first one that I actually watched was number 3. And then because I watched just age, timing, whatever, and then I went back and watched the other ones.
I enjoy putting Home Alone 1 on in the classroom at this time of year because a lot of the kids haven't seen it, and it's just the laughter.
I've got a question for you, Zach. How many fucking movies do you watch in the classroom every year?
Honestly, not many. Usually it's wet weather plays and things like that,
Sure.
or we have a rewards day at the end of each term. So usually one gets thrown on there. Christmas time so far this year, I haven't watched any.
Okay.
Well,
haven't been to school to watch them.
AJ, you can have one now.
thank you. I appreciate that. Mine is quite possibly classed as one of the greatest Christmas movies ever made, and it actually, in a weird way, connects with your film. Mine's Love Actually.
Die Hard 3?
No, Love Actually. It is the pinnacle Christmas movie, in my opinion, and the amount of people that I know watch it and then put on the ending of Die Hard just to watch Hans Gruber die because of what he does to the poor woman in Love Actually is hilarious.
So I might as well jump in now with my number 3, and my number 3 is Love Actually, being a 2003 rom-com with an ensemble cast including Hugh Grant, Emma Thompson, Colin Firth, Liam Neeson, Keira Knightley, Bill Nye, Alan Rickman, the dirty bastard, God rest his soul, Martin Freeman, Billy Bob Thornton, Rowan Atkinson, amongst others.
I love Hugh Grant in this movie, man. He's really good. He plays such a good character. He plays the Prime Minister, and he's so funny, and I like the relationship that he has with the girl in it. It's phenomenal. I mean, Emma Thompson is...
Yeah.
Emma Thompson.
It took me a long time to watch that movie.
So I actually never... Shan introduced it to me, so I only first watched it about 10 years ago, so about 10 years after it was released.
Maybe 3 years ago I watched it.
It's just a good movie.
Yeah.
It's a good movie, a great movie. And it was funny when we did the notes for this and put out like, we'll do top 3 Christmas movies. I wrote my notes, walked into the next room, and Shan had just started Love Actually. I'm like, okay, let's watch it then.
My favourite thing, every year the meme comes out, the fact that Keira Knightley is, I think, 3 years older than the little boy when that was recorded.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She's like 18 or like 17 or 18 when that movie's made.
Oh, wow.
And
that's fair, actually.
I think he might be 14 and she's 18.
Yeah, right.
Like there's a tiny age difference between those two in that movie, which is just hilarious because they just look so different.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's funny, I still remember watching Maze Runner and I'm watching it and I'm like, who the fuck is that guy? I know him from somewhere and I could not picture it, and it was just irritating the fuck, and I went online and looked at it and went, that's the little fucking kid from Love Actually.
Well, there's his number 1 and my number 3 done, so you're up.
My next one will be The Grinch, but Jim Carrey's The Grinch.
Yep.
I have struggled to watch the new animated one. It's not bad.
Shan literally put this on during the week. It's the first time that I've watched it. It's got bloody Cumberbatch in it as the Grinch, and
it's just not Jim Carrey's The Grinch.
No.
I would love for them to do a second one, but there's a clip of him, I think it was on the Graham Norton show, talking about how it does, and he's like, literally, they recruited someone from the CIA to come and coach me how to get through torture, because that's how bad it was putting the makeup on every day. Like, he's like, I literally sat through, and the only thing that got me through was listening to the Bee Gees non-stop. That's the only thing that kept him sane.
Probably
in the
what
makeup
sent him
chair.
crazy. Listen to that much Bee Gees.
Yeah, he's like, it was just an absolute nightmare, and like the yak hair just stuck to him and shit. He's like, it was a nightmare.
I'm sure that there would be other options nowadays for it, or at least an easier process. But yeah, I mean, look, you get a second one happening, that'd be fun.
Yeah,
I mean, I was never much of a fan of the Grinch movies. I don't like the animated one. I was a massive fan of the live action one. It's just I just don't think I'm a fan of Zeus. Dr. Zeus.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Zeus.
Yeah, this one definitely came out at probably...
Dr. Zeus.
Dr. Zeus. That's where I got that from.
Can
I play the piano anymore? Of course you can. Well, I couldn't before.
See, he doesn't need us. He just talks to himself.
Dear God.
No, I think this one came out probably for us right at the right time for our ages. You would have been a little bit older where it probably wasn't...
You call an old motherfucker?
Not old, just older. It's your turn.
Okay.
I respect my elders.
My number 2 is technically a 2, 3, 4 because it is a trilogy, and it is The Christmas Prince. Now, these are Netflix specials. Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I have no idea.
So these star the chick from iZombie. She's a Kiwi chick. She was a Power Ranger at one point as well. She's in the Ghosts TV show. Essentially, it's about a girl. I'm about to describe pretty much every Netflix Hallmark film. It's about a girl. I think she's a cook from memory. She travels to a European country that doesn't actually exist. She accidentally meets the prince. They fall in love. Blah blah blah. And then
it's the Christmas version of like Princess Diaries.
Yes, and then the second one is their wedding, and then the third one is they have a baby.
Yeah.
So
they actually are in the same universe as the chick from High School Musicals Netflix ones where they switch, the princess switch or whatever it is. Yeah, it's in the same universe as them because they're at the wedding.
So I'm literally, all I'm looking at is 3 images of it and no thanks.
Oh, yeah. See,
they're not good.
I thought the same thing, but they're those kind of movies that you can just put on, switch off and just enjoy. They're not horrible like a lot of those fucking ones are. They're in that space of they're watchable.
See,
and you're like, that wasn't horrible at the end.
Okay. See, the one I could throw in that would be similar to that would be Holiday on Netflix, where again it's not that.
Oh, that's the Emma Roberts one, is it?
Oh, I can't remember the chick's name, but basically meets a guy. They bump into each other several times, end up being each other's holiday whenever there's a holiday around. They meet up.
I know the one you're talking about. Yeah.
That's not too bad. Again, it's
It is Emma Roberts.
It is Emma Roberts.
Yeah. Follows the plot is fairly predictable. You see what's coming a mile away, but it is one of those ones where you can
most rom-coms are predictable.
You just throw on and
that's
it's
the fun of them.
But yeah, that would have been my Hallmark Christmas movie I put on.
The fun of these ones are just like you just put them on and it's essentially just noise.
Yep.
But it's enjoyable noise.
Okay. All right, my last one. Now, I put this one on here because I used to thrash the fucking shit out of this movie when I was very, very young. The Santa Claus.
Yes.
1994 film with Tim Allen. And I watched it so fucking much. I mean, the premise is a guy who accidentally kills Santa and then he needs to become Santa.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking wild.
And he does it so well.
And he does it well and he has fun and it's just a wild trip. And yeah, I loved watching it as a kid.
So
Yeah,
I had that on my list as well because Santa Claus 2 is also fantastic. Santa Claus 3, and the TV show was haven't watched the season 2 of it, but 1 and 2 fantastic Christmas
that's usually
movies.
what happens when they get that far into it, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Well, so I cheated because I had more than 5.
Naturally.
So I'll throw another one. Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I was about to say, is anyone going to have this on their list?
Yeah, Jingle All the Way. If you haven't seen it, definitely need to watch it.
Arnie Schwarzenegger.
Arnie Schwarzenegger is dad that's overly busy with his work at Christmas time.
Yep.
Promises to get his son the superhero action hero in the thing, Turbo Man, and continues to make a hash of everything until he ends up becoming the Turbo Man actor in The Parade and flies around. So Great movie. Always enjoyable to watch at this time of year.
Forgot about this one. I remember watching this quite a lot when I was younger as well.
Okay, so my one is it's only a fairly new one, and it is about to get a sequel, and that is Violent Nights.
This is a fucking trip.
David Harbour.
I haven't watched it, but I need to watch
dude,
it.
It's fucking just...
It's over the top
different
stupidness, and it's just Santa Claus killing assassins.
Yeah. That's what it is.
It's so good, and I cannot wait for the sequel.
But I love
David Harbour just having fun,
and that's what it. Like you can just see on his face the whole time he's there. He's just like, I'm fucking Santa, killing a bunch of assassins, and he is loving every minute of it.
He gets a candy cane and he like sucks it till it's to a point and uses it as a shiv and stuff like that. And
even as he's walking around, like he's just like, this fucking got it, fucking presents every fucking year.
I would like to give I'm going to chuck in another one. This one is just. This one's a new one for me. As of about 5 days ago, this one has become on my list and it's probably going to be watched every year. And it's a new one that's just come to Christmas and it's called That Christmas. It's a CGI one. It has a star-studded VO cast and it's It was such a good movie. Like it's a multiple stories happening at the same time kind of thing. Santa's in there giving presents.
Oh yeah, I've seen this pop
It
up.
was so enjoyable, and like we put it on for the kids, and the kids fell asleep about 10 minutes in, and me and Amy just sat there watching it the entire time. So
There you go.
yeah, I highly recommend it.
Bill Nye's in this one as
Yep.
well. Bill Nye, Brian Cox.
Brian Cox, Darth Vader himself.
Yeah, Fiona Shaw.
The doctor's in it.
Reese
Well, the
Darby,
previous doctor.
Jodie Whittaker.
Yeah, Jodie Whittaker.
So there's a new movie that's come out that I'm interested in watching.
The Satan one.
Yeah, it's called Dear Santa.
Yep.
The premise is a kid writes a letter to Santa but has a spelling mistake.
yeah.
And it ends up going to Satan, and Jack Black is definitely not Santa. As he
That comes
in
out
and-
like just came out or comes out next
Yeah,
week or
that's what I was
something.
trying to find. It's coming out on Paramount Plus. It's out now on Paramount Plus. There you go. So it's out ready to be watched.
It looks fun. That one.
And the last cheating I had on my list was I also had Deck the Halls on there with Danny DeVito.
The Halls.
It's got and Matthew. It's got Danny DeVito.
I know the name, but
It's got Matthew Broderick in it as well. Basically, Danny DeVito moves into this quiet neighborhood street. Christmas lights go up, and Danny DeVito causes mayhem for Matthew Broderick, who is used to
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I know this movie.
that was
yes.
quite enjoyable. And then I had one TV show to throw in it, and it's called
fuck, you did cheat.
Yeah, I
didn't
did. Christmas. Look at me.
This is the first time I haven't.
It's called Happy Merry Whatever. It's on Netflix. It's only one season. There was meant to be a second one, but it didn't get picked up. Stars Dennis Quaid as a dad. Few old Disney chicks are in it, like Ashley Tisdale from High School Musicals. But yeah, basically the premise is one daughter has moved away, comes back to the hometown with her boyfriend at the time to meet Dennis Quaid, who is just the over-the-top cop, and Christmas is...
Oh, yes, I've seen this. I've seen this.
Christmas
Yes.
is his thing and sort of thing. So the boyfriend's trying to, win him over because he wants to propose and all this sort of stuff. And it's a very over-the-top, like, clingy family.
Yeah, it came
So
out.
it's-
It came out a few years ago, yeah.
So it's Meet the Fockers, but TV show at Christmas.
I wouldn't go
Kind
meet
of.
the Fockers, but kind of.
It's kind of like that. What was that one with Old Mate that got cancelled and Brian Cox? Like the one where what's his name? Old Mate from the Room movie. Seth Rogen's
Zor
mate.
you at the moment.
No, Seth Rogen's mate, the one who got cancelled, 127 hours.
Yeah.
James Franco.
Yeah.
There's
You got cancelled?
James, yeah, he got hardcore
Yeah.
cancelled. James Franco and Brian, is it Brian Cox?
Oh,
from-
yeah. Why him?
Why him? That's it.
Yeah.
It's kind of that
but-
premise, but
yeah, so
Christmassy.
basically,
and-
they
yeah.
all live in Philadelphia. Christmas is the time of year. The mum has passed away, so therefore that's why dad sort of amps up everything to sort of keep the memory of mum alive. And yeah, there's 4 siblings, 3 daughters and a son, and sort of they all intertwined. The in-laws sort of get together and have their own sort of mini group to help keep themselves sane around them all. So 8 episodes, very enjoyable to watch.
Cool.
Definitely want to throw one around this time of year.
Okay, so those are some Christmas movies and TV shows that we thoroughly enjoy. You guys should watch them. And now let's talk about some of the most exciting things to happen in the next couple of days. It happened in 28 days. It spread in 23 weeks. And what was the last line?
It's
evolved.
It's evolved in 28
years later. It's evolved. Yeah.
20th
This fucking trailer.
20th of June, 2025.
I mean, they missed an opportunity there to release it on the 28th.
Well,
I know that's not the day you release movies, but come on.
It's
Why would
also-
you not?
Can I start with this, and then you
Yeah,
guys
sure,
can just
sure.
run away with
Sure.
it? So, obviously, I haven't seen 1 or 2. Planning on 2. So,
Yes.
but watching this, first of all, very, very gripping trailer. Had me hooked from the start.
Yes.
The
that's how you fucking do a trailer.
the
Yeah,
trailer.
for those of you watching that do trailer editing, that's how you do it. Watch that. That's how you fucking do it.
Nothing's given away. Nothing is spoiled. But everyone is engaged. Everyone wants to go and see it.
And everyone knows what the fuck they're going to see too.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it's going to be like a big, like, if you didn't know already that it's a zombie flick, like, you're going to know from this pretty quickly, and it's going to be gripping and intense. And I'm sorry.
The radio voiceover they had throughout most of it was creepy as fuck. I was like, that can stop now. And the last big thing I had on there. The fact that on the wall you see the jobs of like secretary or doctor. The fact that one of those jobs is now watchtower means some shit has gone down in this world.
Yep.
Yeah. So basically, from the trailer, what I got is we're going to be focusing on a little community that's formed on a little island to protect themselves, obviously, because the rampage infected people can't. It was called Rampage, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, the rampage infected people can't swim, obviously.
Or the Rampage or the Ravage or
something like that. I'm pretty sure it was Rampage. And that kind of thing. And then they must send people out to get supplies, blah, 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 kind of stuff. And Kick-Ass himself is going out to try and get some supplies with a young kid, comes across some infected motherfuckers, and it looks... There was a shot in it where it's like over the back of an infected and it's like all bubbly and stuff, and it looks like that's the evolved part of it. And oh God, it looks good. And the thing, like, I don't know what's going to happen in this fucking movie.
No, I genuinely don't. Like, when they first said, hey, we're doing 28 years later, I'm like, fuck yes. And then a week later I was like, what are they going to fucking do? And now that we've seen the trailer, I've still got no fucking idea.
And my one hope is, because this is a trilogy, I hope they just don't end. Like the Planet of the Apes trilogy, the original, like the new original trilogy, they did that so well that each movie was its own movie.
Yep.
Bang, but they continued on from each other. I just hope that they do it like that. Like, this is 28 years later is a movie. You can watch it. You don't have to sit there and go, oh, fuck, now I got to wait fucking 4 years for the next one kind of thing. You watch it, boom, and then the next one will continue off that one, but not continue, like straight on continue on.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I know Marvel has infected the minds of Hollywood where they think everything has to be fucking straight on connected and stuff. But yeah. And the other big thing is, it looks stunning.
It does.
And
Danny Boyle's got money this time.
No, 90% of this was shot on fucking iPhone 15.
Again, really?
Yeah. We brought this up.
I did too, because we were talking about the handy cams.
It's shot with cinema lenses on the iPhones.
Yeah.
But the sensor of the camera is an iPhone.
Yep.
Because they wanted to give it that handy cam look that the original had. Because the number 2 was shot on cinema cameras, and you could notice a difference, kind of thing. So for those of you who don't really know 28 Days Later, essentially Killian wakes up in a medical robe, very similar to Walking Dead. He wakes up and it's been 28 days since the Rampage virus broke out, and he's kind of wandering around, and it's essentially just him trying to survive. He meets up with a couple of people, and I still remember the one scene where I think it's a dude gets bit on the arm, and this chick instantly pulls a machete out and just goes and just knocks his arm off. It's just gone. Like, without thinking, it was just fucking brutal.
Done. It was just a reaction.
Yeah. And then essentially it's them sort of surviving. And then the second one starts off with one of the best scenes in any zombie movie I've ever met. It's old mate from the Full Monty. Can't remember his name off the top. He was in Trainspotting and all that kind of stuff. He and Stargate Universe, for those nerds in there. He is with his family, and it's like the zombies end up breaking in, and then it's just him fucking running, and they're all like this massive lot of them just chasing after him. And it essentially follows, I haven't seen this one in a long time. It follows a brother and a sister, because she is immune to the Rampage virus. And they need to get to a football stadium to get helivaced out by military or something to try and get to a safe zone.
Yeah, something along those lines.
But one of the things I've noticed in all the comments for this trailer is that there's a shot of a zombie towards the end of the trailer that pops up, and everyone's like, "That's Cillian Murphy, man! They've done my boy bad." I mean,
it might be, it might not be. I didn't think it was.
Sources have revealed it's not.
It's not. It's just everyone's kind of like, kind of looks like him, so therefore it's him.
Really, like, from the angle you've got, you could really see that it could be him in makeup. Like, I fully believe and understand why.
Except for the fact that Cillian Murphy's like ears are sort of pinned back to his head, and this fucking zombie is a wingnut.
Yeah.
Like straight off the bat.
No, it's called prosthetics.
I get prosthetics, but
keep
then,
up.
okay,
but
so they're going to give the zombie prosthetic fucking Dumbo ears while he's going through there just to turn into a zombie.
No, I guarantee you, Cillian Murphy will turn up at the end of this film.
He's not listed as like a starring actor, just returning.
Yeah, he will pop up at the end of this, and he'll be a main character in either the second one or the third one.
Yeah.
Oh, they are doing more, are they?
Yeah, they're doing 3. It's a full trilogy they've announced. It's a trilogy.
Yep.
They've already shot the
See, when you were talking about trilogy before, I thought this was obviously the end of the trilogy.
No, it's a brand new trilogy.
Yeah. So the first 2 were sort of done in their own right. So 28 Days Later was done in its own right, and then because of its success, they did 28 Weeks Later in its own right. And then Danny Boyle, he's now returning because he didn't do 28 Weeks Later. He just did the first one. So he's returning now, and he's doing a trilogy, which is the 28 Years Later. Or whatever they end up being across the 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense for what you were talking about before then.
Yeah, so it's a trilogy. I believe they've shot the second one, and they're in pre-production for the third one. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe more than this one has been shot.
I don't know about that. I just know that they weren't going to fuck around with releasing them.
Yeah.
I think they just sort of wanted to go, here's one, here's the next one, here's the next one. So I don't know if it's going to be... I'm making the assumption it's going to be 12 months. Maybe a bit longer. The only thing that I don't know if they're going to play into it, because I think it's been 23 years since 28 Days Later. So if he wants to be a bit of like a bit coy and release the third one, which is the wrap up of 28 years at 28 years from the first one, which means we've got 5 years for 3 movies, which is not unreasonable.
Yeah.
It's annoying as fuck, but it's not unreasonable. I would prefer them just to smash them out in like 6 to 12 months.
Yeah, so
each
would I.
one.
Just bang, bang, bang,
Yeah.
and just, it'd be good. But I reckon it'll be about a 2-year span.
Yeah.
But I am very, very fucking excited about this
100%.
movie.
Yeah, well, as I said, for someone that hasn't seen the first 2, like this one had me fully gripped in. Yeah, I'm excited to watch it really without watching the first 2 sort of thing. So
100%. And I mean, like, we didn't really touch on it, but I mean, from a starring perspective, we've got, as we said, Cillian Murphy. He's not returning as a star, but he's meant to be within it, so some sort of cameo we expect. We got Jodie Comer. We've got, you mentioned before, Aaron Taylor Johnson, most recently in the flopped Craven. We've got Ralph Fiennes, Ralph Fiennes, who was recently Voldemort, but he was prominently known as Voldemort. I did not know that his name is Ralph Nathaniel Twistleton Wickham Fiennes.
Jesus Christ.
Ralph Nathaniel Twistleton Wickham Fiennes. They're actually hyphenated the last 3. Yeah. I thought that's wild.
I think we might have like a couple of listeners from England. What the fuck, guys? Name your kids normally.
Please explain.
But yeah, he's got a mad list of movies. Like, I mean, yeah, we said Voldemort, but he was in Schindler's List, Hurt Locker, Kingsman, Prince of Egypt, Red Dragon, Flash, and Wrath of the Titans. Yep. Yeah.
Yes.
He's a diverse range actor, and I mean, looking forward to seeing him in it. But fuck yeah, bring it on. Please release it now. Don't want to wait till June.
Has it got the guy?
Yes, it does.
That was in Lost, the bald dude that was in the wheelchair at the start, and then you can. It looks like him in the shot when they're in the skeleton skull thing.
It is him.
It is. I thought so.
I don't know his name. I haven't seen Lost, but I've just seen enough of the promotional shit of Lost to know it's the same guy.
It's the dude who's paralyzed in Lost, and he's not paralyzed on the island and stuff. Yeah. I'm pretty sure, in that scene where they're in that shrine of skulls in the trailer, I'm pretty sure you see him in it. So
because I actually had that same thought at the time.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Look, I've only watched the trailer once. I'm definitely going to be watching it again, and I'm sure I'll pick up on that in the future.
Okay, well, let us jump into games. Okay, so it is coming to that time of year, and we thought when this episode airs, it will be a week and a half till Christmas time.
So we've left it a little bit late, but I mean, that happens. We're still going to come out, and in any case, we're doing some stocking filler games.
I've just done stocking filler, like nerd stocking filler ideas, not games.
That's fine. That's fine.
I mean, last year we did something a little broader, myself and AJ. We just did 5 games that we enjoy, and hey, they're good ones to sort of get into around Christmas time.
Can I quickly throw 3 in for that without talking about them?
Sure.
Greed.
Yep.
We did that.
Your version of that monster one, if that ever comes out, that is a fantastic...
If Game Found ever get off their fucking ass.
Yep. That is a fantastic, quick little game. And my third one would be Codenames.
Oh, yeah. Cool. No, I like that. That's good.
Yeah, cool.
So these are essentially cheaper, smaller games that you can kind of pull out with the family, not necessarily gamer games. They're more kind of, you can just pull them out, have fun with them.
Yep.
Or nerdy things that could fit in a stocking.
Yep.
In Zach's case.
Yep. Zach, you can kick us off.
I'll throw out a game that I've played that I quite really enjoy that is relatively straightforward, follows a path, but AJ's not a huge fan because it's probably on the lesser side of deck building games. But the Harry Potter Battle Box comes in, you go through the levels, and obviously gets harder through going through the school years.
Sure.
1 to 4 players. You can play by yourself. You can play it with 4, up to 4. But yeah,
Does it fit in a stocking?
No.
If you got a big stocking, probably.
If you got my foot size, you probably would.
Okay.
But yeah, that would be a game that there's an expansion to it. But yeah, that would be a game I'd throw out.
See,
Cool.
I found that game fun, but I found it very lacking in replayability.
Yeah,
that was my major issue with
replaying
it.
would be a thing. The main replaying aspect is the villains that come out will be different at different times, and therefore you can be fucked over if you get the wrong ones back to back, sort of thing.
Sure.
Or the last level when you got like multiple at the same time, you can be fucked over there.
I would probably say go a DC one over that, in my opinion, because it's a better game. Not theme. Like if you're a Harry Potter fan, fair enough, but the actual gameplay, I'd say DC is probably better.
I think for gateway people getting into a game like this, I think that would be fine because the theme I think would win people over.
Yeah.
And then you could build into bigger games.
Also, when it came out,
it
it wasn't very successful, so they fucking pumped it through Zing, and you could buy the starter game for like $22.
Yeah, right.
I paid more than 22. I was one of the few that bought it originally.
Fair enough.
I will. So the first thing I got for a stocking stuffer filler is a themed mouse pad. Obviously, there are multiple out there. Everyone has a different interest, whether it be Harry Potter, Hero Academia, whatever it might be. But getting themed mouse pads that sort of occupy the majority of your desk are quite common now, and fits into a stocking and usually something you can target at certain people.
Now I want to go get one for my desk at work.
If you can get one, you get one that's 24 inches by, I think it's 14 inches. That's a TCG playmat then.
It is indeed.
So you can buy a lot of them on Temu. That's where I've been getting a lot of my playmats now.
Etsy,
it's like $9, $9 to $12, and I think they're 24 by 11 inches, and you can get some cool designs.
Yeah.
Obviously, most of them are like ripped off artwork and stuff like that, so that's not great for the artists, but they're cheap and they work for playmats. So
if you go on there, you can actually find and do your custom ones of those sizes as well.
Yes.
So they're actually doing custom ones, and they are very reasonably priced. So I was going to do some just to see the quality that they come out of, because it could go one of two ways.
Yeah, you never know.
Exactly.
All right, what do you got, mate?
Look, I was going to touch on a couple of honourable mentions, but fuck it, I will anyways. You already said Greed, so that was one. Splendid Jewel. Hive Pocket, Quirkle Pocket, Catan Dice. They're just some great little ones just to have a look at anyways. But my first one is Here to Slay. It retails around $30. It's a competitive role-playing fantasy strategy card game about assembling party heroes, slaying monsters, sometimes sabotaging your friends too, from the creators of Unstable Unicorns. I know we've played this a couple times way back. It's pretty easy to pick up. It comes in quite a small box just for the base. You can get expansions as well. It was good, simple fun around the table. All
right. My first one is Zombie Dice. So this is a game released by Steve Jackson Games. Normally you can get it for about $20 here in Australia. Essentially it is a whole heap of dice that have brains, feet, and shotguns, and essentially you pick up all the dice and you roll them. If you get a shotgun, it locks that dice in, and you're essentially being a zombie trying to eat brains. So you're getting trying to get as many brains as possible. If you ever get 3 shotguns, you lose all the brains you've collected that turn. Essentially, you can stop at any point and score those brains, and it keeps going around the table until, from memory, it's 11 the first to 11 brains, and everyone gets one more turn. Good, fun game.
Yes. I've played it once and was effectively a zombie myself because he'd got me that drunk on Sour Monkey. I couldn't keep my head off the table. All right, so my next non-board game to put in stocking stuffer would be a dice set. up there with something a bit pricier. But there are very cool dice sets from your D6s to your D10s and 12s for D&D, things like that.
The prices can vary on that because you can buy cheaper like RPG sets.
The dice I buy for like Warhammer and stuff, like the Chessex ones, you range from anywhere from like $20 up. And you can get some cool different color themes and things like that.
But I mean, if you want to spoil your significant other, then you can get, and they play RPGs, you can get like handcrafted stone RPG dice sets, and they can go up into the hundreds, like $500 kind of things, metal ones.
There is all types.
Or you can go on Temu and get like 5 sets for like $10.
Exactly. Exactly.
But yeah, I agree with that. Dice sets they're very good little gift, especially if they're like an RPG player or something like that.
And tabletop player. There's we always need dice and we're always losing them. So
100%.
Yep.
My next one is Pass the Pigs.
I love Pass the Pigs.
Retails for about $20. However, if you
I got it on special for $10 about 4 weeks ago.
I got it on special for $15 about 12 months ago.
Nice.
But
I didn't get it on special.
If you also want it to not be a stocking filler, you can actually get a larger version where the pigs are
inflatable pigs.
Yeah, and they're a few inches.
Oh no, have you seen
not the inflatable ones? I've seen the foam ones that you get that are like about a foot or so.
You can get inflatable ones that are probably about 30 centimeters long, and you use them. Essentially, it's 2 little pigs, and you roll them, and depending on how they land, you score points. So if there's one side has a little dot on it, the other side doesn't. If they land on the same side, it's like 5 points kind of thing. Or if they land standing up, that's 10 points, blah, blah. And they can land like fucking each other, and that's like 50 points kind of thing and stuff like that. It's just a fun little game, eh?
It's been around for a very long time. It actually came out in the 70s. So it's been around for fucking years. But I mean, like on the points and scoring and whatnot, like, I mean, you've got Razorback. The pig is lying on its back with its trotters facing upwards.
Making ham with
Trotter, the pig is standing on all 4 trotters, akin to normal pigs. You get 5 points. Snouter, the pig is resting on its snout and front trotters.
Doing a breakdancer move.
The leaning jowler, the pig is resting on its trotter, snout and ear. But then you've also got things like making bacon or
That's
oinker.
Making bacon.
Both pigs are touching and both are resting on the table. Players' total score from the game is set to 0 and players pass to the next player. But you also got piggyback. One pig rests on top of the other pig and not the table. The player is eliminated from the game and cannot play anymore. So it's super simple, super fun, can be played all ages. Younger kids, they enjoy it because you're throwing 2 pigs on a table to try and get points. Older people enjoy it because, I mean, it's just hilarious having a few beers and throwing pigs on the table to try and get points. Yeah, good fun.
I can see that.
So my number 2 is a game called Timelines. You can buy it's essentially multiple different sort of scenarios. You can do like movies, music, blah, blah, blah. And essentially what it is you get 5 cards in your hand and you have to try and get rid of those cards. The first player to get rid of all their cards wins. Each card has a picture on it, and it might be like, I've got the music edition, it might be the Beatles or the Beatles like White Album kind of thing. And essentially what will happen is you play your card on the table, the next player plays the card, and you have to try and pick the date that it happens. So once more cards get on the table, you're trying to like, okay, well, I think the Beatles' White Album came out in roughly 1970 something. So you're like, oh, that album came out in the 60s. That came out, and you play it, and then you flip the card over, and it tells you the date. And if it's wrong, you have to discard that card and draw another card. And you keep playing around until someone gets. It is the simplest game. You're literally just guessing when something came out and putting it on the table, and it is so much fun. I highly recommend the movie one and the music one. Yeah. They're really, really good.
Nice. I highly enjoyed when we played the Blockbuster game with a group of people. You just making the teams and things like that, and it's quite hilarious watching people act out movies or
don't play it with really drunk people with the Blockbuster game. It's very hard for them to understand what's happening, and they just pretend to be swans. Was it a swan?
So he
Caden, we're talking about you.
One of our golf trips, he got one, and it was the black swan, and he's sorry for the people listening, but his action was this. Everyone's going Egyptian.
Essentially, doing the Egyptian sort of.
And then the last thing he said for the night was someone said rich Asian or something like that was the clue given. He didn't get it at the time. They'd moved on. 10 seconds later, he just goes, Slumdog Millionaire. Yep, that was it for True Question Arcade. Well done. That was the last thing you said for the night.
Yeah, so it's not a great game to play. It is also one that I would highly, highly recommend. It's fucking amazing
Very
game.
fun, very quick, and enjoyable.
That's if you can find a Blockbuster store.
So my last one will be posters, but again, cheating slightly with the size of the stocking. Displates.
No, look, the posters, I mean, displates you're not going to get near.
Yeah, posters
metal.
you would.
Posters, they can just stick out the top. I mean, you know what you're getting.
Yeah. Displates, I've got a few, highly recommend them. They are, again, you can get anyone that any style of displate nowadays really that matches anyone's interest, from sport to pop culture to deep nerdy things. So, yeah, very colourful. Can get a variety of sizes, and very striking. Can get some fancy new ones that sort of like have the metallic sort of paint jobs to it, so it's like shiny and things like that. But
nice.
Great for any wall edition for any nerd that wants them.
Marvelous. My last one is the Deckscape boxes. These come in quite a little small scale box. They are basically an escape type game.
Oh, yep.
And the benefit of these ones is that it's about $20 a game. They are a small box. You will fit them quite easily into the stocking, and it's just the cards. So you're just playing through the cards to try and work out your way through the game.
I'd unlock in with that as well.
Pardon?
I'd tie unlock in with that as well.
Yeah, because that's also a small
Same
scale.
thing,
Compared to some of your escape room games where they sort of come in like a big box type arrangement. These small, easy. The replayability for the game and it's just non-existent. Once you've done it, you've done it.
I've personally found with the unlock ones, if you haven't played it in like a year, maybe year and a half, you can replay them again.
Sure.
Playing with different people as well also helps.
But the benefit of these ones is they are one player through to as many as you sort of want to. They recommend 1 to 4. And the other thing is that once you've sort of done it, if you have done it like that, it is quite easy to give to someone else. So if you enjoyed it, you can just pack it up. You can get it straight into that little box again and say, hey, I played through this. It was great. Give it a crack.
That's
one of the really good
unlock
things.
games.
Yeah.
I've had multiple unlock games, and I've kind of played through them. I'm like, I'll just give them to someone.
Exactly.
They're like $20. So who gives a fuck?
Yeah, you had your fun while you're doing it. $20, easy, and good to pass the torch.
My third one is a great little game that I bought simply because of the name, and it turned out to be a fucking fun game, and that is Kittens in a Blender. It is a fantastic game. Basically what happens is you get the box, and the box becomes a basket or a blender. And everyone gets a color, so it's like pink, yellow, whatever, and you're trying to get all of your cats into the basket, and all the other players are trying to get your cat into the blender. And then at some point, someone plays a blender card. Any cats that are in the blender get killed and are out of the game. Any cats that are in the basket get saved, and you score points for them.
Yep.
And and then all the other cards sort of played in the middle. And then you play cards like move 2 cats to the basket, and you can put 2 cats in the basket. Move 2 cats out of the basket, and you move into the middle, kind of thing. Super simple gameplay. It's just really good fun, and it's just hilarious. And there's an expansion called More Kittens in the Blender.
Is it like a sabotage type thing as well when you play with others, or is it just about you getting yours around?
So basically, you're trying to get yours in whilst killing the other players.
Yeah,
well.
okay.
So you're trying to move the other players into the
there
blender.
is sabotage.
Yeah, I'm assuming whoever gets the most saved cats wins each round. Yeah.
Yep. It's really good fun.
Reminds me, a bit more complicated, but the one that Caden brought to...
Yes, very similar to that.
Where you're got two lives or 2 people, and you go around and like actually kill the other people, and things like that. You got to like infect them and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, right.
Pretty fun. I'm going to cheat and throw one more game I've just remembered that actually fits into the stocking. This is probably the most legitimate one I've got. Love Letter. Specifically for me, the Batman Love Letter.
The Batman Love Letter is by far the best in my opinion.
I think the main problem most people have when it comes to playing this game for the first time is they hear the name Love Letter. But no, it's great fun. You have basically 2 cards at most, and that's when you're playing a card, and just trying to outwit people. It's sort of a game like counting cards in a way, where if you remember what's been played, you've got a better chance of winning. And it's a lot of fun. Quick, easy, and lots of fun.
Look, there are a lot of games that I would recommend, but they are pretty hard to get.
Yep.
Because a lot of the really good little games, and they've got some good gameplay in it. A lot of them are Japanese card games, and some of them have been translated, and they're just really hard to get unless you got them through a Kickstarter or something. I think they're called Dominia. card games. It's like a specific company that make these games.
Sure.
And they're fantastic games. But yeah, they are hard to get. And they're not really beginner games, either. They're gamer games. But yeah, anything else we got there?
No, I once again didn't cheat for a change.
I didn't
Amazing.
cheat. I just fucked up.
Oh, well, you had 3.
I had 3, just not relevant to your 3, but that's fine. We got through it.
It's all good. Stocking. It's Christmas. It's stocking fillers. They're some of the fun things. You can get the random fun things within the stockings, and that's throw in a couple of little games and whatnot. And it's good.
That's good fun.
I actually went. I had to do. We're doing a Secret Santa, Bad Santa thing where get a gift, like at work, get a gift, pass it on, get a gift, pass it on, and you can grab that because you like the look of it and whatnot. I went and bought a couple games, just small games to throw into the pile, and away they go.
I enjoy the stealing ones because it forces people to actually just go into it and buy like fun things.
Yeah.
Like, and there's always someone that throws the gag gift in.
Oh yeah, of course.
We did it last year, and someone forgot until they were on the way to the party, so they bought a potato and just taped $20 to the outside of it. And he's like, "That's mine."
I thought long and hard about putting $20 worth of silver coins into a box. I didn't do that. Someone did get a full box of laundry detergent though.
Hey, very useful.
Nice. That's expensive stuff, man.
It was
That's expensive stuff.
For the size of the box, it was very expensive.
All right. Well, that is all we have for our 50th anniversary episode, guys. How do you all feel? Do you feel old? We're done with our 50th episode and we're on our way to 100?
No, like we're on our way to 100
I'm not
now. It's a
even
reset, isn't it?
I'm
Like
not even an adult yet, so
I mean-
I'm fresh, ready to go.
straight from number 51. It's a reset.
That's it. I love it.
So on 51, bit of tidbit, we do have a very special guest
Yes.
on episode 51. So
Yep.
looking forward to having them in and asking them, grilling them on all the hard questions.
Yeah, special guest.
Don't
What else?
mention who it is.
I'm not going to.
Gotta
But
build the suspense so people come back.
We're also going to talk about our most anticipated movies and TV shows for next year. So if you want to hear what we're anticipating, come along and have a listen on the next episode.
That's right. And then next year we will be getting into our favourite movies and whatnots
Yeah.
of 2024. We already did our half yearlies and now we're going to do our full yearlies.
And we'll do a look back, compare it to our lists from one of our very, very early episodes where we said what we were actually keen for in
I think it was
2024.
like episode 2 or 3, wasn't it?
Episode 2 or 3 it would have
Yeah.
been. So if you want to go back and have a look for when we did our anticipated 2024, myself and AJ, we'll do a bit of a
I
comparison.
would say
see.
Silo wouldn't have been on that list, but I think it will be on your one of your favourite ones.
I don't know. My lists are always, people can never really guess my list. My lists are a bit all over the shop. Because people automatically think, oh, he's going to say nerdy things and stuff.
No,
and I'm
no,
like,
it's all
fucking
rom-coms.
rom-com. Fuck you,
Yeah,
rom-com.
We watched the Zac Efron, Nicole Kidman one.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah, that'll be on his list. That was
Good
it was
movie.
pretty
It's a
good.
good movie. I highly recommend it. If you haven't
Still
watched
haven't
watch
watched
it.
It's not bad.
It's a good movie.
All right.
I mean, her face doesn't move throughout the entire thing, but it was a good movie.
She just had a touch up, all right.
Just a subtle touch up. I think they got a 2 for deal. Her and Kiefer got a 2 for deal, and they both went in and
100% they did.
got done at the same time.
Frequent flyers, mate.
Okay, well, thank you very much for listening, guys. Thank you to all of our new listeners over in the Singapore and whatnots. Thank you for USA and all that kind of stuff. Appreciate everyone. Make sure you like, share, subscribe as always, and
Go onto our YouTube, check out Sequelize It. It's only on YouTube at the moment, so get on there, have a listen to that, and
say-
watch and share it around. It's
The
good
funny
fun.
thing last week when our District 10 Sequelizer episode came out, and then all of a sudden there were rumours of District 10 being released. So, good timing. We look forward to seeing
the higher ups are watching.
The internet
we
is
look forward to
listening.
seeing whose idea they stole and put onto the big screen. It'll
That's
be
it.
good.
That's it. All right. Well, thank you very much, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Stay
Thanks, guys.
frantic, mate.
Hey, guys. Thanks for listening to Frantic Nerdcast.
You can find all our latest news and information on Facebook or at franticnerdcast.com.
You can find us on Instagram at Frantic Nerdcast. Find AJ at Weird Art by AJ. Find Zach at Frantic Kaz and myself at Frantic Brock.
Please make sure to head over to our YouTube channel and subscribe for more YouTube-only content like Sequelize It and Plays Games.